Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Terra Invicta, episode number 6, I think, of our Let's Play series as the Academy. I know that we're just going to be bouncing in and out. It's been about 1 month since the last episode cut out. But there's been a couple developments I think I'll just update you on. This is, we finished researching alien operations. Now, this is, I think this is an interesting research thing, so that let's just read through it, basically. I guess this last line says it all. We do have some new understandings on alien activities and how humans may resist them. We have completed the research alien operations objective. From the beginning, the clandestine, aggressive nature of the alien actions was a puzzle, for if they were hostile, why take the trouble to make landfall? Even the most aggressively anti-alien forces within our debates have admitted that should the aliens wish to eliminate us, they could do so with little difficulty. We are at the bottom of a gravity well, they at the top. The disparity in power is enormous, yet the aliens have made no moves towards open violence. The two most likely explanations: they have stayed their hand due to ethical concerns, or they seek to exploit us. Unfortunately, the second now appears the more likely. Countries are rapidly falling under alien sway, with governments and leaders being subverted or directly controlled. Perhaps we should be grateful that the alien intend conquest rather than xenocide, but as things stand, it is small comfort. Okay, so we have activated an alien threat monitor. It is viewable. That's actually important. We'll continue to study them, and that we'll research the alien movements when we get the chance. But okay, this is it. This is the big one. And I literally mean the big one. Now that aliens' objectives have become clear, a point of divergence has been reached. All must choose a side. On one hand, we have a peace faction. They argue that the aliens possess such clear and overwhelming superiority that our only realistic chance is for some kind of negotiated treaty or surrender. The earlier we can reach agreement, the less harsh the terms are likely to be. An unglamorous end, but perhaps the only achievable one. Opposed is the war faction. They argue that aliens are clearly and openly hostile, and that we have no choice but to resist. Reports have surfaced of other alien species used as expendable cannon fodder. Should we surrender? Humanity's fate is likely to be no better. Resistance at least offers some slim chance of freedom. Surrender means a bleak and certain fate. And then there are the few remaining holdouts like me. And I will insert here, like us. We are playing as the Academy. We are trying to walk the narrow path, I'd say. Like me, who still hope for some cooperative resolution. Is it possible, or are we the greatest fools of all? So now we have to complete a cooperative resolution project. This is the main Academy. So okay, this is the new cooperative resolution project. This sets our goals. It increases our control point management by 25, which is fantastic. Basically the 1 point at the US. And it spins off a new org. Not a particularly good one, as the Academy. And, gives us 100, which is just silly. Yeah, in the meantime, I had started management research, but we have other ones that have... Oh, there it is, a cooperative resolution. What? You say only 25,000? Note to yourself here that the projects are not... we have Xenoflora defoliants, which is 5,000. And it's a pretty expensive project as far as faction ones go. Another one here, molten salt batteries, is 1,000. Institutional outreach is 1,000. And we also have this $2,000 research one, which I've decided to go for. I'm just lacking anything else really to use when we finished one of the previous research. Oh, it was the institutional outreach. There was another one that added 5 orgs that we completed. I forgot the name of it, but that one's been completed now, so we are going to get an additional 5 orgs. Okay, anyway, this one is 25,000. It's just insane. I think it does make the most. It is beneficial to start working towards it. I'm not sure we'll be able to complete it, but we'll eventually complete it. But yeah, look at that. It's only going to take us 6 years to research this. Note that almost any other research we've tried to do has been finished within a year. Like, look at this management research, which is 2,000. We're still going to finish this in about 7 months. versus, again, finishing this other one in 6 years. Over 6 years. That's insane. It's because, the Academy has this middle position where they are just trying to figure out how to get this this best case scenario. I think it's a kind of a best case scenario. Not to kill the aliens, actually get a peace. So, very expensive. We'll work on it. We'll see how that goes. In other sad news, Ukraine has actually fallen to the Eurasian Union, and just note that this is a game, just in case you kind of dozed off there and heard what happened. No, in this game, this fictitious universe, the Ukraine has fallen to the servants, unfortunately, too. I don't even know who owned Ukraine before this, which faction was controlling them, but whoever it was, they are obviously no longer. So that's all the updates I think I have for now. I'll cut away and we'll continue on. I didn't go far. Mass Drivers just got finished, which is, I think, one of the very cool research projects. And very, further good news, Project Exodus chose space mining and refining as the next one, and that's very good as well. So we're just going to continue to contribute to all the different global research things. It does benefit us, I think, to just make the factions better, since that makes all but one alien-loving faction better. And there's many of them, right? So we were making Resistance and Humanity First better, even though they have no love for us. And by the way, I should mention that there's been a lot of discussion about the different factions. I kind of probably dug into it too deep and maybe expressed too strong of an opinion, because I see that other people are reacting a lot in the comment section about these opinions. And so just to note, I read all these comments, and lots of interesting comments have been left there. A lot of them about how the Academy is perceived as the middle people, and that makes them bad. Well, it turns out another comment I saw was that the reason the Humanity First does not hate the aliens, but they hate the Academy, because I had some people defend this, made it, try to rationalize it. Apparently it was a bug. So they're now in conflict, and they're in conflict with the Resistance, and I think that eventually we should see them at war, right? But yeah, everyone is in conflict with us. I guess it's, as people have mentioned, probably because there is a lot of rubber banding, a lot of damping against accelerated growth. I don't know why I said it that way. Basically, when you're getting ahead in the game, other sides kind of turn against you. And when you're not doing well in the game, other sides, I don't know if they leave you alone, actually. Maybe there's only a negative effect on doing too well. But it's all relative anyway, so I guess there's some effect, but whatever. Yeah, the different factions and all that, I think it's kind of interesting to see everyone's different opinion on it. The idea that everyone would hate the Academy, but not the aliens or not servants, I find that that's just kind of a joke. Obviously, the Humanity First and the Resistance are obviously going to be more upset at the servants, who directly oppose their path, versus somebody who's kind of neutral, even if you would consider them naive or getting in the way. Okay, anyway, so it's been interesting to read those comments. If you didn't read all the comments from any of the videos, you can go back and scan through them. There's plenty of comments about people with their various opinions on how the Academy is being perceived by different other factions. Okay, quick update here. I don't actually know where we're going to be at, but there's several things I can update on. I even took notes in my notepad, so I'll refer to that if I don't remember things. Erratic leader behavior, Turkmenistan. We've determined that aliens are now able to infiltrate national institutions in what will look like, from the outside, a purge mission by the servants, but may not be prevented by our usual legal and political defenses. We believe developing the science attribute among our counselors will help us understand and defend against this phenomenon. Okay, so that's what's happening. We will also go over there and try to put that away. I switched out my main faction project, a cooperative resolution, for the alien movements. Once I have that, I'll move back. We're also getting very close to getting advanced chemical rocketry. You can see that I'm over my control point limit, but I'll provide some context for that in a second. We're nearly at the point of getting space mining and refining, which means my moon base won't be, just useless for forever. And yeah, we actually have a good bonus for the social. I mean, this is one of the best bonuses to have early game, is the social science one, since there are so many projects, especially faction projects, that do require social science. Another great one is obviously the space science, since all the space mining, the Skywatch, Deep Skywatch, all those are all space science. Anyway, things are chugging along nicely otherwise. Let me refer to my notes here. Okay, so Balochistan broke away from Pakistan, that's right. I don't know how to pronounce this word, sorry, but some part of Pakistan has split off, and they are not controlled by anybody, but they're part of the Pakistan, what is this, Federation? Pretty interesting that that happened. Now, this Humanity First maintains control of Pakistan and its 2 nukes. India still has 2. Oh yeah, that's another thing. 20th of February, so about a month ago, Iran got nukes. Luckily for us, the initiative is in charge, and they're not particularly nuke happy. You can see why I'm over the cap here, because I took Saudi Arabia. I'm basically going around, and this was a really good idea by one of the people in the comments section. They said that they go around and like basically pick up, even though you're right at your control point limit, you can go and grab other places and then just immediately abandon them. And then you still have control over the priorities of the nation, which means that, for example, you can stop doing spoils. Stop basically destroying the planet. I really like this little Crusader idea, and as the Academy, what could be more appropriate? I feel like the Academy is like the moral high ground people. So that's happened. Let's see what else we had. Oh yeah, there was a Baptist surge in the U.S. which gave the resistance a fair amount of support, but you can see that because I'm very desperately protecting, or vigorously I should say, protecting this control point in the U.S., I don't think we're going to lose this control point, which means I just need to wait until June. Still 3 more months to go. And last, we discovered alien bases on Triton. So the aliens have moved inside the... we don't have deep Skywatch research yet. And even then, we can still find some of their bases. So they're somewhere in there. I'm not going to go and look, but yeah, they've made it over. And that is all of the update for now. So what is it? I guess that's it. Just move on a little bit, I guess. See what else happens until the end of the turn. I've been just trying to start working on... Oh yeah, actually, here's another interesting thing. Is France has formed the European Union. Unfortunately, it's the serpents in control. Now this will not stand. So I've gone in and I've just started to make public opinion pitches. My goal is I will abandon whatever needs to be abandoned in order to get the servants out of the European Union. We got to push them somewhere else. So that's my goal right now. Is you can see we have one person, probably gonna end up having 2 people working on this. They weren't both there. Oh yeah, that's right. So one person is working on it, and then I've also been doing a lot of inspire missions. Hong Chow is the one who's mainly doing that. It looks like he's gonna go back to investigate alien duty, unless Talitha just doesn't have anything really going for her. Not even in terms of like organizations. I think I just dumped one organization. Oh yeah, no, she has a couple. Who's that? Oh yeah, Hong Chow is the one who... I mean, he deserves some organizations, but we haven't passed any to him yet. Anyway, so we probably got to pick up some organizations too. I think I'm saving, kind of banking up some influence to try to get to the 200 level ones. We don't have that much money, and the only money we even have right now is based on our stealing of spoils from Saudi Arabia. Even though I've come in and, Academy being the good guys, but the spoils from the other, like, uncontrolled control points are still generating actually a ton of wealth for us. It's kind of interesting to see. Okay, anyway, I'll cut away. All right, so we got advanced chemical rocketry finished, and we completed it with the most. We completed it with the most science, so we get to pick the next tech. That does lead us to the always fascinating, ever enthralling tech tree for this game. I could lose myself in this, and I have, and hopefully I don't do it on camera again, but it's just so fun to look at. Some of the front runners, in my opinion, right now would be augmented reality, which will lead us eventually to cybernetics. It also opens up space research. You could do like biotechnology, which would also like kind of get you there. Arrival, international relations. There's another one. Oh, arrival law. That's it. Okay. These can lead to some interesting things too. Okay, I'm just gonna search for it. Arrival. International relations is one of them. Okay, here we go. And that should lead to international development, unity movement. Okay, here they are. Independent movements. That's the one I was actually thinking about anyway. So this leads to breakup of Indonesia. Well, we can just read it. Oh, this is the wrong one. No, yeah, this is not the one I want. This is the one where you can, like, become smaller. But we don't actually want that. I kind of want unity movements. So this one will lead to... well, lots of things. Is this the Greater United States? I think that's the one I might have been trying to target here. Maybe Greater United North America. There it is. So this one comes from United North America, which comes from Greater Nations, which comes from Unity Movements. Okay, so it is quite a path. We could decide to go down that. That's generally, in my opinion, more of like the servant's path, is to stay on Earth. We want to get it into space eventually. But, who's to say you can't do a little bit of this, a little bit of that? Little of column A, little of column B. I don't know. I guess I'm going to go with augmented reality because it's kind of a stopgap. It buys me time to think of what I would want for my next technology. I do want to make sure that we're getting all the space mining stuff going, but basically I can't do anything with this technology since we're not quite finished with that one yet. We could probably also do some get energy going. I'm not very good with energy. What is the one? I'm very good with space science. And, material science is also good. Well, advanced carbon manipulation also takes us to quantum computing, and that would give us another advisor. Of course, it gives everybody another advisor. Yeah, you could just get lost in this. It's a lot of fun. We'll go ahead and pick up, or attempt to pick up augmented reality through this. And just to give you a quick update on everything that's going on in the world, I wanted to say that basically we're super far behind in terms of money, and I want to talk about not having money so that you understand why I can't pick up all the orgs that I want to pick up. And everyone else pretty much could. Now, if you look, we're actually massively ahead in terms of income, but just way down in terms of money. Okay, that's not true. We're pretty much even with Exodus, and everyone else is not that far behind. At most maybe half behind us. But they have a lot more money. And why is that? It's because they're fully taking part in the spoils game. They are just ripping the planet Earth. We, the Academy, are so upright, and we're not forsaking the planet. In the game theory of things, I think that it would be a wise thing to do. As in, it benefits us a lot more than it hurts us. So it probably is good to do spoils, because everyone shares the pain in spoils. Anyway, but we aren't doing it, and that takes us over to the organizations, which we have a few more now. If I had more influence, or even at this point we're being limited by money, and that's not a good thing. Typically you want to be able to buy any organization that is money, or that requires money, because they usually aren't that expensive. But we are just really behind in terms of money. I'll probably need to do some kind of spoils or something to get that up. But in the meantime, we've picked up a lot more organizations. I don't know if there's anything I'm really going to highlight here other than just maybe go through them real fast. Just display the different ones if you have anything you're interested in seeing. Good old Hong Chao here. Hong Cho Chao. He doesn't have any organizations. We'll get him one eventually. But I do want to save enough influence to maybe pick up one of the better orgs. And I've even considered maybe even landing in Japan, just purging something, so that we can get, this one in particular isn't, I don't care about this particular org, but for any of the orgs which we might be interested in, we may want to try to steal a spot. Time for another update. We have interplanetary chemical rockets now, and actually I want to bring you in not just to show you this, but actually we've been very successful at researching several of the rocket techs. Now they're pretty cheap, around 100 a pop, really, so no reason not to get them. Ooh, I want that fission pile. I'm glad I saw that. That's another one that just became available, but we have another... Okay, we have space tugs. We have institutional outreach and strategic lobbying. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's the direct investment one. Okay, so space tugs we definitely want. Speeds up delivery of HAB modules. We do want that, but we also have... Come on, where is it? Reusable rockets. There it is. I even put some points into it already, but it is 1,000, a bit expensive. So the goal right now is, one, I finished the management, so we have 5 more points, which is noise and the lost in the fact. So we have the high thrust probes to give, the quicker half the time for probes to arrive at places. That's enormous. That's quite good. So we definitely want that. It's going to allow us to beat other people to other planets. Might want to go back to alien movements now, since that's going to allow us to start working on the aliens. Although, what do we do as the Academy? I'm not really sure what our strategy will be there. So for now, space tugs, reusable rockets is going to give us a huge amount of boost. Right now, also, I'll go show the Resistance's ill-gotten gains in a moment. I'm actually pretty torn on this. There's several good options here. Even Vision Pile, if I wanted to go to Mars, is probably going to be a good one, and I suspect that our probe is going to be done soon. Although this is small enough, 500, that I could probably beeline it in like a desperation move. So I'm going to try to get some boost first. Let's do that. That means both of our things right now are boosting and really could benefit from some more energy. Which maybe leads me to look over, whoops, not that one. Let's go over to this one and look at some of the places. So the next up for me, I really want to try to get CERN. Not because it's amazing, but I mean the place itself in real life. But also because it has a really good swath of research. And our research right now, I'll show you, is much higher than others. But I also need to consider the fact that Talitha doesn't have any good missions. If we want to keep using her, and we do continuously upgrade her with the XP and all that, and again, at this point, getting rid of her would be an enormous cost. We'd be losing 20 administration points. 20 total control point points. So we'd have to find somebody who doesn't hurt too much for us to get him back up to speed. And I've tried to morph her into more of an espionage person, so she can do, investigation would have been good too, but so she can do the purge mission. So at least she can do that. We also have Ares here, Ares investments. Plus 3% economy and 5 administration would be great. We don't mind the minus 20, although, I'm talking about how we need money, but mainly how we're going to need money is probably through spoils. I have been really pumping the funding, so I do suspect that in the long term, we're going to be okay. That's always how I play these games, for the long term. But, there's a reason why spoils are so effective, and that's, we're basically living off of the spoils right now of Saudi Arabia, which I'm pretty sure I've shown you. Oh, by the way, so that you can see here that the aliens have taken the US point, and I have cracked it down. I have pursued an alien investigation marker. There was alien activity here, then here, and now I just finished investigating that here, and it moved here. Crazy. We're just following them. Yeah, this is my spoils. So this is giving me a lot of money. What, like 300? It's giving me like 300 money every week. So it's compared to 260 a month, I'm getting 300 a week. Yep, spoils are very good. That's all from Saudi Arabia. I don't get spoils from anywhere else. It's just insane how good that is. And there it is, the last little update. We want to go and try to get into the European Union, but first I probably want to take Germany back. The resistance snuck in and they took both. I made it 9 months. It's so frustrating. I made it 9 months before they finally came in, and you can't uncrack down your place. You have to wait for somebody to take it. So it's just really stupid. It's really bad luck that they didn't take it for the first 9 months of the crackdown. They take it in the last 3 months. In the last 2 months. They take it. It was the last month. It was going to go back in June. It was not going to be cracked down anymore. So they took it in the last month. And that means that we had to wait 11 months where we couldn't get the benefits of having the control points. And finally they take it so we can actually take it back. The only way we can take it, uncrack it down, is for somebody to take it and us to take it back. Well, finally we can do that. At this point, I would have loved for the resistance just to go away and give me 1 more month of peace so I could have gotten it, just have it not crack down anymore. That would have been nice. But at least nobody has gone for the crackdown point in Kazakhstan. Not that it's very easy for them to do, considering they don't have a way to get to the executive. So this is my, thank God, one crackdown point is going to make it to the finish line. Whatever. Okay, that's the update. No, we're just not going to talk about this. I mean, for context, they could just purge it. No, I don't know. Well, only a few days later, we get Reusable Rockets. Now, this is really where your boost can take off, because I think at this point we're up to a 40% bonus, which is obviously very significant. 40% boost, is there any way to... What are the other ways of boosting your boost? Because are there boost percentage increases from orgs? You would think I would know this. Probably anybody has an idea. Anyways, outpost mining complexes became available to us after the Project Exodus finished the resource mining thing, which, by the way, has been superseded by, well, not superseded, but replaced with Mission to the Asteroids. Oddly enough, we are, without any real effort, with just 1 tick on it, and okay, that's not fair. We were basically even with it. We're probably at the exact same bonus as Exodus is. We're probably at the same points as them, because I was matching them. I was at 230, they were at it was not 230, but we were in equal numbers. I turned off augmented reality for a while because we're the only person besides the initiative who really cares about it. Kind of interesting. But I wanted to get these a little bit faster, because outpost mining is, well, now if we want, we can go to the moon, and I don't see any reason why well, okay, I do. We're going to want the boost available so that we can grab a bunch of things on Mars, which means we're going to suffer a little bit in the short term so that we can gain a little bit in the long term. We need these outpost mining complexes eventually, but right now, more focus is, and that's why you could see the way I operated, is we basically took out every single option we have research-wise for boosting our boost. Next up after this will be rocket-powered tugs. Just giving you... I just love all these techs that we get from the advanced chemical... the chemical rocketry tech. Oh, I like them. They're great. So, yep, and by the way, counselor update. All my counselors are now useful. Angela has acquired... What did she do that's so useful? Actually, maybe she's not as useful. I was planning to... Okay, I think I can do it now. I'm going to give her public campaign. I could probably pick that up right now, but I want to double check everything nice and careful which I have the time to do when I'm not recording. When the camera's off for the moment. But where's our previously mostly useless... Look, she has public campaign. So with public campaign, Talitha actually becomes a pretty good part of our... there's no reason to replace her now. She can actually help. We can, give her public campaigning missions ad infinitum, and then not only that, but she's actually pretty good at espionage with a 7, and that'll help with any purge missions that we might want to undertake. She also has Sabotage Project and Steel Project. Now, Steel Project also requires espionage. I think Sabotage too, right? Yeah. So all of them, we just need to throw some more espionage points on her, which I probably won't do since she's not high enough in administration quite yet, but if we throw some more espionage points on her, she'd actually be very good at, a few of these espionage-type missions. In particular, I would like to groom her to be a very good purge person, because, again, we don't really have anybody else. There's other people who can do purges. Let's see, for X. Yeah, but nobody's really well-suited for it. And we just have the points, and it wouldn't be wasted on her. Whereas someone else, the opportunity cost of putting espionage points on them, versus, increasing their administration or their science or, something, giving them better orgs, that would be a lot higher. So we don't want to pay that opportunity cost. We want to let the other people do the non-espionage things. Anywho, I guess that's enough about this. I don't know even what's going on with Russia and Madagascar. Russia's mad, apparently. Mad. But other than that, tech is proceeding nicely. Yeah, with all 5 of the people, so now I'm doing this new mission set, which you can basically see here. We boost public opinion in Germany, in the United States, which is actually with Talitha, and then Firkin boosts it in France. Angela she does have to wander a little bit right now. We were using her to quell a little bit of unrest that was happening. But, and then lastly, Anand is like giving insane advised bonuses. 18% point boost and 13% science boost to the US, which means that, yes, I'm getting good science. Very good, very good. Well, this is really getting out of hand. Guess the servants and the resistance really don't like each other. This is probably also a good place for me to just check in and one more time before the end of this episode. I don't really have, nothing's really happening. We're just trying to move forward in time. Oh my gosh, the United States spoils just popped. Thank goodness. Okay, I think I'll set that back to funding now. We hopefully have enough. I just was trying to get a couple more organizations. Mainly, I'm really hoping I can get to DARPA because, although I'm not doing it right now, eventually the United States is going to have a lot of points put into the military, and we'll get that way up. But I kind of hope to get DARPA first, which is going to give me a nice 10% bonus. 8% bonus to the military. It also has that really fantastic science and 15% military science research. So lots of good things here. It's super expensive, I'm not going to lie, but if you just want to take a country and spoil it, then you're fine. Actually, we don't have the points to do that. But okay, I also want to check in, so that was... Who did I wanted the money to do something. Probably pick up this, and that one I can't because I need the influence for DARPA. Okay, I guess in theory, if we had more money, we could buy some administration organizations, but we don't. Now, we do happen to have quite a lot of organization compared to everyone else. Not organization, influence. So let's take a look at all the different factions, and in one particular stat that I want to highlight. First, the servants are over their control point cap. I continue to try to edge a little bit closer. I'm actually getting some pretty good public relations over there. By the way, I did add public opinion as a mission set for Angela, which means 4 of the 5 people I have public opinion raising, and I think the last one maybe all 5 of them do. Okay, I think all 5 of my people now have public opinion, which is great. It's always something you can do. It's always some kind of country you can influence or protect. It's really a way of protecting yourself too. Like I've been using it non-stop on the US, and you can see that despite using it non-stop, it's on permanent assignment now. I don't even assign it; it just gets assigned. You can see that despite that, we're still fighting a real battle for public opinion in the US, and that's just the way it'll go because the US it's one of those contested places, just like the EU. So we have a permanent assignment on the EU now as well. We'll make some gains there. So why did I want to talk about that? It was just the servants being over the cap means hopefully I have a little bit of an easier time eventually breaking into the EU. It's rather ambitious for me to consider breaking into them when I'm already over the cap. Probably it's a little too ambitious, but anyway. So, as far as money income goes, you can see that everyone is still pretty low. We are now almost double the second best income amount, but this again does not tell a full story. In fact, it tells only this scratches the iceberg. It only scratches the surface, the tip of the iceberg, you know what I meant. There's just a ton of money made in spoils, which is not being reported here. Influence wise, we're at +2. This is partly because we're over the cap. I probably could do a better job of getting more influence too, just from orgs or whatnot, but we are not doing as well as other people. I think that might be because, yeah, we're only losing 0.34 a day, so we would just simply be behind the resistance, behind almost everyone. I mean, about the same as everyone except for the resistance. I don't know why they're doing so well. Command-wise, we have plus 0.43. Over, well, not over, but basically double the next best, and the next best is also nearly double the third place. So our command influence, our ops gain is extremely high. Then the one I actually wanted to focus on the most is the boost. We're at 0.21 a day. Second place is 0.08, both Project Exodus and the Initiative. So that means we have almost, well, basically 2.5 times, almost 3 times the boost of second place. Our boost score right now is fantastic, and that's, not a surprise. We have Kazakhstan, we have the US. Not only that, but I'm beginning to use Kazakhstan as a boost builder. My rationale for this is it's not spectacular. I see 0.22, and I still wish I knew. I wish the game would elaborate a little bit more on what a range means here. For any sane person, if you were in control of this country and you knew where you could get the most boost from, that's where you would build it. But I guess that's not actually what the US does anyway, since theirs is not down here. But this might not be the best place due to weather reasons or something. Anyway, I don't know how this number is calculated. 0.16, 0.34, is it a roll? Is it an average? If it was an average, why wouldn't they just say the one number? Who knows? Because I know that 0.22 is 0.22, and it's pretty good. It's going to be good enough for me to actually apply for the boost in this area. But just another note, Crackdown did finish about a month ago, and Kazakhstan's one executive point was the only one that survived the entire distance. Other than that, we're chugging on research, and I guess that's really going to call this video to a close for now. I'll try to make more progress off camera before the next video. Let me know also in the comment section if this is like too much, or should I be checking in more often, progressing the game live? Do you want to see how I'm getting tons of negative events? I should have 30 more ops than I have, but I've hit 3 negative events that all cost 10 ops each to bypass. I prefer not to have the Inquisition happening in the US. That didn't sound great, so I bypassed that one. Anyway, yeah, just let me know how the pacing is. I'm just going to try to at least progress a little bit further, a little bit faster, but that leads to slower episodes, longer turnaround time for video output. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why did Kazakhstan suddenly become purely servant? Okay, well, we have our work cut out for us. That, and I also remember Canada was starting to lose ground. I don't know why. Maybe there's just a natural thing? I just don't know. Anyway, I also want to apologize for this video going out so late because, and it will, the full editing is already done up until this video. It's just, with my work this week, things got a little bit hectic, and I wasn't able to get the video out. It's not typical though. Usually these should be coming out every 3 or 4 days. So, anyways, until the next one, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.